I know that because for us, it's a rat race to the finish line. And it's winner takes it all. And I damn for sure know that if I was in your skin, I wouldn't even have to run. What I don't know is what to do about it.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, Futuristic Mike, and I'm back with another Lovecraft Country video if you're new. Now, this is going to be the recap for Lovecraft Country, Season 1, Episode 5. This is titled Strange Case. If you're a fan of Lovecraft Country, if you love Lovecraft Country, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so when I post videos on Lovecraft Country, you get them. Yo, this episode was absolutely insane. I don't got nothing to say after watching this episode except, oh my god, what in the hell did I just watch? And I don't say that in a bad way, you know, I'm saying that in a good way. It was just crazy. It was absolutely insane. Oh my god, what did I just watch? Like, what? What the hell? This week's episode of Lovecraft Country is without a doubt one of the wildest, grossest, most disgusting, brilliant things I've seen on TV in such a long time. You know, it's a glorious gore fest that will especially appeal to fans of body horror, people who love horror movies and stuff like that and love gore and stuff. They will love this episode. Some people who watch this episode might even think that the gore and stuff is a little too much at times. Possibly, particularly for those with a weak stomach, would not enjoy this episode. But I appreciated the boldness on display, even if I had to watch certain scenes through my fingers. You know, I had to cover my face through a couple scenes, not just with the gore, but with the sex scenes too. Man, let me tell you, this episode was just absolutely insane, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the sex scenes too, because, man, what did I just watch? Now, this episode centers around Ruby and her newfound relationship with the mysterious William, and I actually forgot to mention William and Ruby hooking up in my last review. You know, I did the review on episode 4 and I forgot to mention this, but Ruby and William really hooked up. You know, he bought her some drinks in the bar and then they end up going to smash on some stairs. So following their drunken one-night stand, Ruby wakes up to find herself not with a hangover and a sense of regret, but with a whole new body. Specifically, she has the face and body of Dell, the racist white woman from earlier in the series the group encountered when they visited Ardham. If you guys remember, if you don't, go back and watch. What follows is a Twilight Zone style story that tackles racial discrimination, white privilege, and sexual harassment, all while delivering classic horror scares and shocking the hell out of the audience. Now, what happened to Ruby is kind of like a Freaky Friday type situation. William offers Ruby unrestricted access to this wicked metamorphosis potion. Now, initially, Ruby doesn't want anything to do with it, especially after going through this pretty much shedding process of her skin. Her bones were cracking, and it was like a bone cracking ritual that comes along with it. You know, she is impressed with the power though. Almost instantly, Ruby recognizes a difference in how she is treated when she's white. She's literally treated completely different, and that would be obvious because this is the times of racism. You know, 1950s, you knew how black people got treated back then, and Ruby has probably always been getting treated like shit in her life, so she wanted to try something new. She wanted to know how white folks actually get treated. I mean, she knows, but she wanted to actually be in a white person's body so she could experience it for herself. But at first, she runs through Chicago's South Side when it first happens. She's scared and confused, and there's this kid, this black African-American kid, who the police think are bothering her. The police arrive on the scene, and without cause, they begin beating on a young black man who was only trying to help. Now, meanwhile, the white Ruby is treated as a damsel in distress, and it's only at her insistence that the cops stop their attack. They were really gonna beat the hell out of this young black man if she didn't tell them not to. That is just crazy to me, man. Like, it was really like this back in the day. This was only like 60, 70 years ago. And even like 30 years ago, it was like this. And it actually kind of is still like this now. You see all the stuff going on in the world right now. It's just crazy that they actually used to treat African Americans that way. I'm African American myself, and I just can't believe how our people used to get treated. Ruby can't resist making a deal with the devil. She tells William, the world keeps interrupting and I'm sick of being interrupted. She's saying that she is held back due to her skin color, no matter her work ethic or qualifications. So she takes the potion and spends the day as a white woman, adopting the name Hillary and exploring parts of Chicago with the freedom she would never be afforded as an African American woman. Her activities range from simple pleasures such as buying a treat from going to an ice cream parlor, and she tries reading a book on the park bench uptown, to securing an assistant manager job at a fancy department store. This is like her dream job. She's always wanted to have a job like this. Now suddenly a whole new world of opportunity and possibility opens up just because of her skin color, just because of her being white. Of course, though, there's a price to pay for this potion. William asks her for a favor in return, to act as a server at a secret society get-together hosted by Christina Braithwaite. Ruby isn't supposed to be there just to hand out food and snacks and stuff like that. Christina ends up telling Ruby to plant what I can only presume is a magical rock in the office of this corrupt police captain, Lancaster. This dude is corrupt as hell. Now it turns out Lancaster is angling for a lodge leader position that is meant for William. He even shot William and left him for dead. Ruby reluctantly hides the cursed rock in a drawer, but not without a close run-in, and she ends up finding this bloodied and battered dude chained up in Lancaster's closet. This dude looks like he got beat, stabbed, all types of stuff. He was dripping blood in the police captain's closet, and he honestly probably didn't do anything. This cop is just so corrupt that he probably just beat him for no reason. Now what's fascinating about this episode is how Ruby is pushed and pulled between who she really is and who she wants to be. As Hillary, she's treated with respect. She's welcomed at the department store with open arms by her ignorant colleagues and sleazy boss Paul. She has a kinship with Tamara, the only black girl who works in the store, but she does not like when the other girls mock and insult Tamara behind her back. While Ruby is obviously hurt and angered by their words, she also enjoys the attention and power that her whiteness brings. She would never be able to do this if she was a colored woman working in that department store. She joins the gossip with the other girls at work and stuff, and she even snaps at Tamara to do a better job. She basically wants Tamara to work hard and show these white folks that black people can do better than they can. She wants her to try to her fullest potential to show the white folks in the department store that, black people can achieve anything they want to, even better than some white people if they really put their mind to it. The way Ruby was talking to Tamara, now that isn't meant to be like a personal attack. This is just Ruby speaking from a place of experience as a black woman and now also a white woman. She says you need to do better than mediocre. She knows that as a black woman, she has to work twice as hard to earn half the respect, and people are just waiting for her to make a mistake. So, as Tamara is the store's only black employee, it falls on her to set the example. It's ridiculous that any person should have to represent their entire race, but in this environment, it's just the sad fact of the matter. This show really explores racism, and it kind of pisses me off at times when I'm watching this show, but this really does happen in real life. Now let's get to all the gross body horror stuff. This comes after Hillary convinces Tamara to take the staff for a night out in the south side of Chicago. The girls are fascinated by the music and dancing, but it almost seems like the white people see the black people as just entertainment and, something for them to stare at and force into providing them pleasure. Ruby realizes this and she gets tired of living as Hillary. She goes out of the club, and as the potion begins to wear off, she tears at her skin, the white bloody flesh dripping from her body. It's like melted candle wax. It's some pretty grisly, disgusting imagery, and at this point I thought this would be the most gruesome scene of the episode, but seriously, I was wrong. While in the alley outside the club, Ruby spies her boss Paul sexually assaulting Tamara. Paul is literally calling Tamara the N-word, and Paul shouts as Tamara manages to fight him off and run away. Ruby is very disgusted by what she sees and feels completely dejected and helpless. She wants nothing more to do with this potion. She has nothing in common with these white folks at the job. No matter how much she might look like them, she wants nothing to do with them. Ruby later tells Christina, "You can't relate to who I am." She says the only thing you white women are delusioned with are yourselves. However, Christina tells Ruby that William wasn't merely offering her a chance to be white. It was an invitation to do whatever the fuck you want. That's the power of magic, unmitigated freedom. Now, one last time, Ruby drinks the potion and she goes into Hillary's skin. She visits her boss, Paul, and she tells him that she has to quit due to her attraction to him. Now, what follows is one of the most shocking and unexpected scenes in recent TV history. I was honestly so shocked. Man, I had to stop the episode a couple times because this was crazy. She ended up playing like a kinky sex game, and Hillary ties Paul up, straps a belt around his neck, shoves her panties in his mouth, and kicks him to the floor. She then removes her shoes and apologizes for the graphic nature. She proceeds to move her heel up his ass, and she keeps doing it until he bleeds. She's doing this while the white skin peels from her body, and Cardi B's Bodak Yellow is playing in the background. And then she says, "I wanted you to know an N-word bitch did this to you." I honestly just got nothing else to say about that scene. That was honestly just so crazy, so graphic. God, man. Oh my God, dude. What the hell? Another disturbing thing that happened in this episode is Montrose's side plot. After suffering a vicious beating from Tick, who lashes out upon finding out that his dad killed Yahima, Montrose seeks comfort from a secret lover. This lover just so happens to be a man, Sammy, who performs as a drag artist at a local club. And if you guys remember, we seen Sammy in the first episode. He was getting sucked off in the little alley behind the bar. Now, Montrose is happy to have sex with Sammy, but he is not ready to announce the relationship to the world. And let me just say, this scene right here was so damn disturbing. Oh my God, man. Like, Montrose comes to Sammy's house or his hotel room or whatever it was. You know, Sammy opens the door. Montrose comes in. He doesn't even say a word, and he just unzips his pants. In this scene, I just did not need to see. This scarred me for life. This was just as bad as the Uncle Clifford and Little Murder scene in P-Valley. Like, I did not really want to see this at all. You know, I had to cover my eyes. I had to fast forward this scene. This was so graphic. And this wasn't the only sex scene in this episode. But at least with the other sex scene, I got to see Letty's fine ass having sex. I did not want to see this other one, man. Damn, this scarred me for life. But anyways, Montrose even refuses to kiss Sammy on the lips. But he does end up doing it eventually. So now we know that Montrose is definitely gay, because it was hinted at in the last episode. Now, this development of Montrose's character comes somewhat out of nowhere. It does lead to this scene at the drag bar though. Montrose stands at the corner of the club watching Sammy and the other drag queens perform. At first, Montrose is pretty much unsure, but eventually he gives way to a smile and gets caught up in the dance. He then rushes over and kisses Sammy, kissing him on the lips. Just like Ruby in the white skin, Montrose has found a place where he feels free, even if he isn't accepted for who he truly is elsewhere. Now, I don't give a damn what Montrose does. I don't care who he likes or what he does with who, but I definitely did not need to see that scene, man. Seriously. I did not need to see that, and I hope in future episodes they don't show a shit else with Montrose and Sammy. Please, HBO and whoever the hell is in charge of doing this stuff, do not show us nothing else like that. Do not. Now let's get to Tick and Letty. Now they're mostly off to the sidelines this week. They didn't really show them a whole lot in this episode, to be honest. Letty worries about Tick's violent streak and how the Korean War affected him. There are also questions regarding his commitment to the relationship. Letty is looking for something real, something special, she says, having witnessed her mother fall in and out of love hundreds of times. Tick tells Letty that he is no longer confused and realizes that what he and Letty have is special. Also in this episode, Tick spends the episode transcribing the missing pages from the Book of Names. And he comes to some sort of revelation that I'm sure we'll learn about more next week. And if you guys weren't sure what the ending meant for episode 5, if you're confused about it, maybe I'll make a video and explain the ending to you guys, because I know it is confusing for some people. You know, you really gotta look into this show and you gotta do your research and everything like that. But maybe I will make an explanation video for the ending of episode 5. Man, after this episode, I'm still gonna be thinking about Ruby shedding her skin, or should I say Hillary, and also her sticking that heel up the boss's ass. Man, this episode was just crazy. It was graphic. It had so many gross and disturbing things, but I love this show though. I really do. They do a phenomenal job with everything, but damn, this was crazy. It was a solid episode though, man. I really liked it. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. This might be my favorite episode so far. I had a couple other favorite episodes too. I really enjoyed episode 4, but this episode was completely insane. What did you guys think about this episode? What did you enjoy about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment everything down below in the comment section. Comment your theories, thoughts, predictions, and everything else for the rest of the season. Keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all Lovecraft Country videos in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy Futuristic Mike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.